But the brain is not just one large organism operating by itself. In the 1950s, doctor and researcher Paul MacLean created the theory that the evolved human has not just one brain, but three operating within one. Through his theories, he expressed that through time, the brain evolved into a more complex form. A new brain had formed over the old brain until three brains became established within its own form, purpose, and function. So literally three brains, and you'll see different images of this throughout this webinar. But we have literally three brains within one brain, and this is what is classed as the three-parted brain or the triune brain. And this is again from Paul D. MacLean's model of what happens within the brain, or how has the brain evolved. So the three different parts, we have the lizard brain, also known as the reptilian brain. I also call this the ET brain. So when we're talking about ETs and some of their influences, that is literally the reptilian brain. This is where the reptilians come from. And understand that, especially when we're all talking about, oh, the reptilians, they're the ones who're destroying the world, and so to speak, we're also still reptilian. That's something that we forget. But there's different sects or species of reptilians, and this is what differentiates some of us. So the reptilian brain is the primal brain, and it asks, am I safe? Then we have the mammalian brain. This rules the limbic system. Sorry, going back to the lizard brain, this deals with our autopilot modes. With when those of you who are reading Wettigo, and it talks about the autonomous complexes. I don't know if you've got that far in the book yet, but that is literally the technical name for demonic influences or demonic possession. So this is where a lot of this stuff will be triggered from, this particular part of the brain. This is also what rules our fight or flight, our adrenaline mode. And I didn't include that clip in Venom, but there's the clip where he jumps onto the motorbike, and Venom is literally keeping him alive on that motorbike. That is literally the reptilian brain. It's the adrenaline that's activated when all you can do is survive, so to speak. Then we have the mammalian brain, or the preconception brain. This is what I call an aspect of this is the soul brain. And it asks, am I loved? This is where we experience love. This is our realm of emotions, our realm of memories, our realm of habits, and our realm of attachment. And then we have the evolved human brain, which is known as the neocortex. This is our prefrontal lobes, and this presents the question: what can I learn from this? So this takes all of the information from the influences of the reptilian and the mammalian brain, which is also the unconscious and subconscious influences, and then it puts it in a processing system in the neocortex. And this is where what rules our language, abstract thought, imagination, consciousness, reasoning, and our rationalizing abilities. So all of these brains overlap on each other. And this is what Paul MacLean was talking about in regards to them growing over each other. Now, if we can look at this in the perspective of the earth, and we've all been looking at the earth and earthquakes and stuff like that. I don't know how deep you've been looking into, the formations of the earth. I really do advise you to look into these elements. So this is what we will be doing leading up over the next few months, because we'll be preparing to look more into elements and understanding the elements and how that relates to us. So if you look at the earth formation in itself, earth has many layers of rock. It has many layers of information and records. The earth itself would be a form of the Akashic records, because it's you can go into the earth and you can see records of what's happened on the earth. That's what archaeology is. So the same thing within our brains. There's information, or there's levels of information that operates within our brain. So there are three distinct brains that are co-inhabitants of the human skull. They have established numerous neuro pathways, right? So there's these neural pathways, and we will be talking doing something else about neurogenesis and psychogenesis, and that in itself is an element of transformation, because we can literally transform how our brain has been processing information and completely enter into completely new perception, reality, so many different things. So they have established numerous neuro pathways through which they influence one another and operate simultaneously. This interplay of memory and emotion and thought and action is the foundation of a person's individuality. The triune brain theory leads to a better understanding of the survival instincts such as fight or flight response and its ability to override the more rational neocortex. Now, if we don't strengthen our rational abilities and our ability to be aware of all of our internal and external influences, the reptilian and the mammalian brain has the opportunity to override your ability to see any form of rationality. And this in itself, that's what activates vertigo. This is what activates a psychosis. And multiple people in a group not being able to activate their neocortex, their frontal lobes, their awareness abilities, and their ability to transform that and not stay stuck in their internal and primal instincts and influences, but actually be like, no, I'm about to create something new. And that's what the neocortex does. It wants to learn something new, wants to create something new. And that's why I call it the child. But we will break that down individually as we go through.